Have you ever looked at your cat hiding under the bed and had that sinking feeling, wondering, does my cat even like me? Well, you're definitely not alone. It's a tough question, but today we're going to get to the bottom of it by digging into the real science of feline trust.
Okay, I know that sounds a little harsh, but look, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about a fundamental misunderstanding between us and them. The thing is, what feels like affection to us can feel totally different to a cat, and those little moments, they really add up over time.
So, the very first thing we have to do, and this is absolutely crucial, is to completely reframe how we think about their behavior. What we've been calling hate or dislike or being a jerk, it's almost always something else entirely. And this right here really shows the disconnect, doesn't it? We see things like hissing, hiding, or swiping, and it's so easy to take it personally. But from your cat's point of view, these actions have nothing to do with spite. They're just expressions of fear, distrust, and feeling completely overwhelmed. They're not saying, I hate you, they're screaming, I'm scared. To really get a handle on that fear, we have to do something kind of weird. We have to step outside of our own human world and try, just for a minute, to experience reality through their senses. Their entire world is built on a totally different set of rules and instincts.
And this just says it all. We look at our pets and see a fluffy, domesticated ball of cute, but inside that little body is a brain that's still wired exactly like its ancestor, the African wildcat. Deep down, they are solitary predators, and that ancient programming dictates everything they do.
So, what does being a predator actually mean for a house cat? Well, it means they are hardwired to constantly scan their world for threats. And to feel safe, they need to feel in control. That's why they value things like choice, personal space, and a predictable routine so much. When you take those things away, their stress just goes through the roof. And you gotta understand, their senses are turned up to 11. I mean, take hearing. We humans, we can hear up to about 20 kilohertz. A cat? They can hear all the way up to 80 kilohertz. That's deep into the ultrasonic range. They can hear the tiny squeak of a mouse through a wall. But they also hear the high-pitched hum of all our electronics that we don't even notice. Our world is incredibly loud for them. It's the same story with their vision. Cats can see perfectly clearly in just 1/6 of the light that we need. So when our world gets dark, theirs doesn't. It's just different, which, totally explains why they get the zoomies right around dawn and dusk. Okay, so now that we have a better idea of how they experience the world, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to look at 5 super common, totally well-intentioned things that we humans do that from a cat's perspective can be absolutely terrifying and can seriously break their trust. First up, the classic scoop and cuddle. We see our adorable cat and we just want to sweep them up for a hug. But for an animal that values control more than anything, being suddenly lifted off the ground yanks away all of their choice, all of their autonomy. And even if they just freeze up and seem to tolerate it, you have to remember, tolerance is not the same thing as enjoyment. Next up, habit number 2, the loving stare. In our world, gazing into someone's eyes is a sign of affection. But in cat language, a direct, unbroken stare is a challenge. It's what a predator does right before it pounces. So while you're thinking, oh, you're so cute, your cat might be thinking, why is this giant staring at me like I'm lunch? So what do you do instead? It's all about the slow blink. You just look in their direction, soften your gaze, and slowly close your eyes for a second before opening them again. This is a massive sign of trust in their world. It's basically you saying, I see you, and I'm not a threat. Seriously, this one is a total game changer. Habit number 3, messing with their stuff. See, for a cat, routine equals safety, period. We might think moving their litter box to a new spot or changing their feeding time is no big deal, but for them, it's like someone came in and completely redrew the map of their safe zone without any warning, and that causes a ton of stress. All right, number 4, punishment. When your cat scratches the sofa or jumps on the counter, our first instinct might be to yell or grab a spray bottle. But here's the thing, that doesn't teach them that scratching the couch is wrong. All it teaches them is that you are scary and unpredictable. The cat still has that natural need to scratch, they'll just learn to do it when you're not around. And this last one might be the most modern trust breaker of them all. Your cat comes over, maybe rubs against your leg, offering you a little moment of connection, but you're just scrolling on your phone, only half paying attention. Over time, they learn that their invitations just go unanswered.
And even worse, when you're distracted, you completely miss those subtle little signals they give you to stop petting them before they feel like they have no choice but to bite or swat. Okay, so if you're sitting there thinking, oh no, I do some of those things, please don't feel guilty. This isn't about that. The amazing news is that trust is not a finite resource. It can absolutely be rebuilt with a little patience. And most importantly, by learning to speak their language. Here's a simple 4-step framework you can start with. Step 1, create a safe space. Let them hide, let them feel secure, and never pull them out of a hiding spot. Step 2, use food as a friend. Associate yourself with their favorite high-value treats to build positive vibes. Third, invite, don't force, play. Use something like a wand toy so you can play at a distance that feels safe for them. And finally, and this one is huge, learn their language. And a massive part of their language is knowing when to stop. Long before a bite or a scratch happens, your cat will almost always tell you they've had enough. You just have to watch for these little clues. They get a bit restless, their tail starts twitching or thumping, their ears flick back, or they turn their head to look at your hand. Respecting those signals the second you see them is one of the fastest ways to build trust. You know, when you boil it all down, this is really about a huge shift in our perspective. The goal isn't to fix our cats or force them to be more like us. The goal is to get much, much better at listening to who they already are. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? We have to move away from this mindset of taking affection whenever we feel like it, and instead focus on creating a world for them that's so safe and so respectful that they choose to give their affection to us freely. That right there, that's where the real bond is forged. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Your cat is communicating with you constantly, with every tail twitch, every glance, even in their silence. They are always talking. The real question we need to be asking ourselves is not, is my cat saying something? It's, am I finally ready to listen?